I am so frustrated right now with parents. Parents, what are you doing? Listen, I'm talking to my own group. I'm a parent. I'm talking to my people. But what is happening with the parents today? What are we doing with our kids? What happened? What wool went over our eyes to tell us that we don't have to parent our kids anymore? We can just let them do whatever. I mean, kids that are 9, 10 years old with smartphones in their hand, worth more money than they can even understand the concept of. But they're walking around like they are God's gift to all things, disrespectful, mouthing off to adults, feeling like they are peers with people they are simply not peers with, i.e. me. So these kids, what's happening? Where are the parents? What's going on? I am so frustrated. Is it just me? Is it just me? I mean, I know over generation after generation, oh, these kids these days, I know we said it, they said it about us, my parents had it said about them, grandparents, I know every generation, it's these kids. But honestly, these kids, what? We need to take responsibility, parents, at this point, because what made us think we should introduce social media and smartphones to kids who have not even finished developing yet? Like, their brains are not even there, and we're giving them this major power and access to things they cannot deal with, and now we're seeing the results of it. Are we that dumb that we really believe we can expose our kids to the entire world in the size of a phone, and that's not going to make a difference? They're not going to start acting differently and fighting us and standing up to us as if they are somehow the boss? Our kids are not the boss. We are the boss. So why have we got kids standing up to us like they're the boss? Yes, by the time they get to be teens, they're going to rebel because they got to find their own way and developmentally, blah, 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 blah. I get all that. But teens have been rebelling since the beginning of I don't know when. So why now are the teens who are rebelling somehow so different? Is it maybe because they have way too much power? I'm telling you, you are sending your kids out into this world unprepared. This term, adulting, what the heck is that about? We've all adulted. We all had to be adults. It's called grow up and be an adult. Why is that suddenly a thing that they can't handle being adults? And they just, what? We have failed them. If you cannot raise a child over 18 years plus, whatever those extra years are, maturity-wise, if you cannot raise them to then be self-sufficient, you have failed as a parent. I have failed as a parent. We have failed as parents. So at this point, cell phones have come in, social media has come in, and it has decided, and we've stood by like, that sounds right. What? It has decided to raise our kids, and we have just thrown our hands in the air like, I can't stop them. They're just on that phone all the time, and I can't get them off. What? Yes, you can get them off, because guess what? Who bought the phone for them? No, I'm not talking about that small percentage whose kid did whatever, who works blank hours, and they're such a hard worker. They bought their own phone themselves. Whatever. They can't get the plan without you signing it. They are underage. They're minors. So what? Parents, I need you to get off that tip about how you can't control whatever your kid's doing. Yes, kids are going to do what they do, and I understand. Believe me, I get it. I have 6 kids of my own, and I get that no matter how much you teach them, they're going to do what they're going to do. When they're out of sight, out of mind, they are doing stuff. I get it. But number one, just because they're doing it doesn't mean we shouldn't fuss at them about it, give them consequences for it, and stand firm. This is not okay, right? We got to stand somewhere. Where is the anchor? The anchor is not there anymore. What's happening, parents? We need to wake up and we need to engage. Engage with your kids. Fuss at your kids. Stand toe-to-toe with your kids. Ground your kids. Stand by it. It is hard. It is frustrating, but it is your job. It is my job. We do not get to check out on this. We do not get to say, oh, I can't control. They just keep giving me a hard time. Well, fight the good fight. That's what parents do. Because guess what? 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now, when they're looking back and their brains are, actually developed, and they have some perspective and maturity, They're going to realize the fights you fought were the right fights to fight. You get that? Isn't that what you do? Isn't that what we do? Don't you look back to when you were a teen and your parents were giving you a hard time? And you look back and you're like, wow, Mom, you were right when you told me I couldn't go do X, Y, and Z. Gosh, you were right. Yeah, of course you think they're right now because you're grown. That's why it's the parent's job to help, to guide, and lead and protect our children. That's not happening the way it needs to be. Parents, wake up. Wake up. Engage. Don't tell me your 9-year-old who has obviously a cell phone addiction already at age 9, 10, 11, that you have no control over that. No, ma'am. No, sir. That kid can't do jack without you. You need to sign every single thing that kid needs. That kid gets sick, what they gonna do? You're taking them to the doctor. That kid gets called from the principal. Who's getting called? You. That kid wants to go somewhere. Who's signing it? You. Take the phone away if that's what you need to do. They can have a fit and throw themselves on the floor. If they need a psychiatrist because they need to get over their addiction, well, parent, there's one more thing for you to do. But we have got to stand somewhere. I'm so over it. And the second piece of this is, oh, don't be telling my kid that and stay out my business. Excuse me? You're not doing a good job. And as a society, the bad job you do as a parent affects all of us, right? Because when your kid gets out of the house with all them bad habits or lack of parenting, they come and they are released on society with the rest of us. What happened to I'm my neighbor's keeper? What happened to it takes a village to raise a child? What happened to that? If your child is out of line, can you please not yell at the other adult who's trying to tell you your child is out of line? I'm thinking maybe you and that adult should align together and let your kid know they are out of line, right? But instead, the prideful parent turns on the other adult and defends the child who's, I don't know, out of line. Let's not do that. Let's work together and let's raise these kids up so they understand there is a societal standard and there's a norm for getting along in society and being a responsible citizen. And kid, if you cannot step up to it, you got me, your parent, and all these other parents in the world to show you what the standard looks like so you can fall in line. That's what needs to happen. Parents, I'm frustrated and I need you to wake up. Wake up and raise your child the way you know you're supposed to. Please. Please.